Hello, Taurus. This is Mary Elizabeth with Sacred Love Tarot, and this is your August 2023 tarot forecast. Thank you so very much for turning up and tuning in, for liking, subscribing, commenting, hitting the notification button, and sharing. Sharing and hitting the notification button, subscribing is very important for helping the channel grow. Thank you so very much for being here. I greatly appreciate you. We are going to see what your energy is coming in for the month of August. It's going to be a big month. A lot of, I feel like it's just a lot of moving energy, but maybe for some a lot of confusing energy. So if you are starting into this month and you're feeling a little bit confused about direction, maybe this can help. Make sure that you are watching your moon and rising sign videos as well. We have yin and yang, we have blossoming abundance, and we have second chakra. Second chakra, creativity and sensuality, passion. Blossoming abundance, I mean, who doesn't love that? And then we have the yin and yang. So with the yin and yang card, you're being guided to be open to understanding cycles. You're also being guided to start using the benefits of the energy within self. So this is about receptivity and intuition. It's about gestation and external circumstances forcing you to kind of go within and look at the duality sides of yourself, right? The side of yourself that is intuitive, and the side of yourself that is logical, the side of yourself that is passive, and the side of yourself that is active. And trying to find a happy medium balance with those sides, with all of those sides. It's very complex, it sounds like, doesn't it? Trying to find a balance to those sides that help you tap into the wisdom that allows you to obtain, maintain, or stabilize this blossoming abundance that comes in. We know that this abundance is something that you're very passionate about. We know that this abundance is something that you feel very sensual about, very creative about. So it would be in your best interest to kind of find this happy balance between passive and action, between intuition and logic, and move forward by using said intuition in regards to what you're passionate about, but also take your time with this action. Don't constantly always feel that you have to think from a logical perspective, the headspace, because sometimes it's very important to get into the intuitive space when going forward. So sounds very interesting, doesn't it? And it sounds very complex, doesn't it? It's not very complex or complicated. I mean, when people talk about duality and when they talk about the opposite of different things, the yin to the yang, it has a whole life of its own, right? But here we're simplifying it into, yes, there are times when you use logic and take action, but there are also times when you take a step back and follow your intuition into times of abundance and following your passion. Let us see. Cards flying across the room. Hello, goodbye. Let's see what we have. Oh my goodness. All right. So when I said look at it from a different perspective, or, you know, the Hanged Man, looking at it from a different perspective, he holds the key to the locks that bind his hand and his feet. There is no struggle here. He can get himself out of this particular situation. Chooses not to. Why? Because we're looking at these things from a different perspective. We are looking at what times am I to be aggressive, or at what times am I to be passive? When do I go into my intuition, or when do I use my logic? When do I take this action, and when do I just kind of hang back and allow things to kind of manifest and start working for me, as opposed to me continuously working for it, right? And then we have the Justice, having faith, blind faith within self, and knowing that these scales that seem kind of imbalanced will balance themselves out. If you're under any law situations, if you're in court, dealings with the police, lawyers, attorneys, you're being guided to know that as long as you're not compromising your integrity, that this will work out for you. You're in a very stable position here. And the wrappings around the eyes is having faith, that blind faith, but you can see she's peeking a little bit. So she wants to know what's going on. And sometimes when we don't allow ourselves the patience that it takes for something to work itself out, we can put ourselves in very compromising positions. We can get very annoyed, irritated, we can get very impatient, and we can do things unintentionally, do things that compromise the way this situation is going in your direction or on your behalf. So if there's a litigation thing that you're dealing with, a law thing, a court thing, a judge thing, have patience. Have patience. This isn't the time to take action. This isn't the time to be aggressive. This isn't the time to exert yourself into something. Now, if you want something to exert yourself into, and if you want to take action, the Eight of Cups is good. Walking away from something that has kept you down emotionally, walking away from something that you've invested too much in, walking away from something that isn't conducive to your happiness, your growth, your forward movement, your mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual stability, right? She's only taking the bare minimum with her. Right? And now she's going out into the world and looking for things that ignite that passion, that ignite that creativity and that sensuality that she feels for life, that she's getting back. So let's see what that is. This is good. So this is a new way of being creative. We can see that the page is naive, it's young, it's fresh, it's that taking action, it's that feeling that you had when you were a kid where you were completely invincible. Not many of us anymore would put on a cape and get up on a building and think we can fly off. When we were kids, we thought ourselves to be invincible. We thought we could do anything. We knew what we wanted in our future. We wanted to be space explorers or underwater explorers. We wanted to be lawyers and doctors. And this is, the Page of Cups is looking at life through those goggles again, looking at life from a creative, childlike perspective, and learning new ways to identify with your passion, to identify with this abundance, to identify with the Hanged Man, looking at things from a different perspective, to identify with the yin and yang, that passive aggressive, that patience and that action. So this is, the Page of Cups is you just learning to just be patient, just to try something new. You learning to step back into your passion and be creative and explore new avenues and territories of creativity and passion. And then we have the Five of Cups. So when we walk away, it's almost like this was a distraction, right? But eventually, so when you walk away from whatever it is you're walking away from that no longer fulfills you emotionally, and you step into this Page of Cups energy, it's almost like this is a distraction that you haven't quite yet allowed yourself, Taurus, to heal over walking away from whatever relationship or situation this was. So it all finally comes to a head with the Five of Cups. There's this emotional break, right? there's this, we were one time happy and celebratory. We were one time sharing our dreams and ambitions and desires, and now I find myself walking away from this one-sided relationship, and I find myself filling my time with things that don't necessarily give me pleasure. And now there's this Five of Cups energy that is the healing process starts with recognizing where the pain and hurt is coming from. And the Two of Cups up here on this table talks about you learning a lesson from walking away from this Eight of Cups energy, from walking away from this relationship, or walking away from this partnership. And the lesson learned here is that you're strong enough, passionate enough, and creative enough to be out on your own. And you don't need anybody feeding off of your emotions. You don't need anybody taking 99.9% from you when all you have to go on is that 1% and them giving nothing back. It's tiring. It's heartbreaking. It takes a lot of energy to always acquiesce to the request of someone who you think you're in a relationship, a give and take relationship with, when you're only in a give from you and take from them. So this is the lesson that you're learning, that sometimes relationships on the surface aren't always what they are. Sometimes people aren't always who they present themselves to be. Yes, we want that fairy tale. We want to look at someone and say that's the best thing ever. We want to look at someone and say they love me unconditionally and they're willing to do anything for me. But we also want to recognize and acknowledge that this person is also a human having this spiritual experience, and sometimes we are not all on the same path, and their path may have led them to situations and circumstances where all they do is use people, unlike your path is leading you to situations and circumstances where all you want is love and compassion and abundance and sensuality and creativity. You're not going to find that here. So let's move on. So we have this King of you're not going to find that here. Let's move on into this King of Cups energy. Someone who is looking toward the future, someone who wants to have fun, someone who's not willing, someone who doesn't want to get in your business, someone who doesn't want to take advantage of you emotionally, someone who doesn't want to be overly, someone who doesn't want to, I don't know, the King of Cups is someone who's very grounded and very balanced and very looking toward the future and very much wanting to have fun. And he's also someone who's very open to new ideas and adventure and speaking one's truth and very passionate about life. So he's not going to take advantage of you. He's not going to take and take and take and take and take and leave you in a position to where you're constantly giving. This, the King of Cups energy is this passionate, compassionate, empathic individual who wants to be there for you and show you there's more to life than tears and assholes. But here you are, just kind of, that Four of Swords energy, that the Four of Swords energy, I'm sorry, that's Five of Swords. Can't see. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. She's holding 5. And the Four of Swords energy is about resting the mind and contemplation, and that's certainly not that, so I'm an idiot. This Five of Swords energy is either you in conflict with what this King of Cups is offering you. Are you in conflict with them, or are you in conflict with yourself? Right? It doesn't have to be a competition. There's no competition here. He's offering you a time of healing. He's offering you a time of fun. He's offering you a time of adventure. He's not asking for anything more than just that. So I think what's in your mind is you don't want to get into another situation like the last situation you were in. So you're very hesitant about this, and it's this back and forth battle with yourself. Or you feel like you're in competition with others because of the last relationship that you were in. And that's most definitely not the case, because here we are in this beautiful Ace of Cups energy: love, peace, tranquility, growth, opportunity, abundance, prosperity. So it seems like you've gotten wiser, right, to everything that has happened in your life. You went from that Eight of Cups energy, walking away, to the Five of Cups energy, feeling very vulnerable and alone, to the Ace of Cups energy, feeling very wiser and more secure and more mature with what you're looking for out of emotional relationships. The peace, the tranquility, the connection, the growth, the happiness, the cup runneth over feeling, if you will. And then we have the Balance card, the Temperance, right? Not overdoing or overindulging one way or another. Make sure that you are mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually taking care of self. So the way this is kind of is interesting, because we have the snacks and the treats and the martini over here, and we have the water and the journal and the carrots over here, and we have the computer in the middle. So I think what Spirit is saying here is that while you're on this journey of finding self, make sure you are taking time for self. If you're going out and having a good time and having fun and dancing and drinking and whooping it up and eating and just living life and living this adventure, make sure that you're taking time to nourish the body, eating good foods, drinking a lot of water, writing down your feelings and your emotions, and not keeping everything bottled up inside. So this is taking care of yourself, again, physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, having a great time, going out and having fun, but also remembering that your body is a temple as well, and that there are some things that you can ingest in your body that kind of weakens the connection between you, spirit, and your higher self. So after you're out there and having a good time and whooping it up and doing whatever it is that you're overdoing, make sure that you come back and you replenish the body. And so there's decisions to make, choices. And I love this card because this card is the world is your oyster, right? What do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to take this relationship further? Do you want to do that? Obtaining the knowledge and the guidance from Spirit, do you want to do that? Do you want to step into the sensual, creative adventure? Do you want the blossoming abundance? What is it that you want? And then you allow yourself the freedom to step into that, to move toward that by taking care of the physical body, taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, knowing that you and Spirit are in a co-creation relationship with one another, coming at this opportunity of choosing your heart's desire from a place of gratitude and of love and of peace and of growth, and of recognizing your universal connection with not just Spirit but those around you too. So you have a lot of decisions to make, Taurus, for the month of August. But you will be finding your truth and finding the truth. Yeah, thank you. Yes, finding. And from finding the truth and your truth, you are finding yourself again, right? Finding yourself again, coming from a place of love, a place of happiness, a place of emotional stability and balance. a place of manifestation. And you're being guided to protect that. Protect that at all costs. Because the last thing that you want to do is go backwards into a relationship that isn't a relationship of trust or truth or sensuality or creativity or abundance or love or compassion. One more card. You want to protect your surroundings at all cost. You want to protect your health at all cost. Inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. So don't fear. Love the opportunities that are coming to you. Love the opportunities that you have. Love that inner strength, that inner sensuality, that inner compassion, that guidance. Love your body, your heart, your mind, your soul. Love your connection to spirit. Love that you have the ability to either take action or be patient. Love that you have the ability to think with your mind or think with your heart. Love that you have the ability to look at things from your perspective and then look at things from a different perspective, a spiritual perspective. Love that you have this co-creation relationship with spirit, and the moment you see the truth, you're finding yourself. That card jumped out just right after I said finding. You're finding yourself, and that is a transformation all in itself. And then your ability to manifest is heightened, and these are precious things to protect. So have a great and wonderful August, Taurus. We'll talk to you soon.